My name is Elena. I am 46 years old. My life is usually very simple and quiet. I work in an office, and I often work long hours. Because of the heavy workload, I am always exhausted. I feel like a machine that only works, eats, and sleeps. I feel very lonely. One night, I left the office very late. It was midnight. Usually, I go straight home, but that night, I stopped walking. I looked at a building nearby with bright neon lights. It was a bar. I whispered to myself, "Elena, you need to relax." I decided to go inside. I walked to the bar counter and ordered a drink. I found a small table in the corner and sat down alone. I watched people dancing and couples talking closely. Suddenly, a young man walked over to my table. He asked if he could sit down. I said yes. He told me his name was Ryan, and he was 23 years old. I felt the big age difference between us, but I stayed quiet. Ryan was not nervous. He looked at me and said, "You look very beautiful tonight." I was surprised. I laughed a little because I felt shy. Usually, I felt invisible when I went out, but tonight, Ryan made me feel seen. He asked me questions about my life and listened carefully to my answers. Ryan was flirting with me, and I knew it. For many years, I only thought about my job. Now I was thinking about myself. I felt like a woman again. I forgot that I was 46 years old. I forgot my problems and my loneliness. I only focused on Ryan's smile. Ryan asked me to dance. I felt nervous, but he took my hand and led me to the middle of the room. He pulled me close. I had not been this close to a man in years. I tried to look away, but I couldn't. I stared at Ryan's face and began to blush. Ryan looked into my eyes and kissed me. My heart beat fast. I knew I should stop this, but I did not want to return to my lonely life. I said to Ryan, "Let's leave." Ryan smiled. He didn't ask where we were going. He simply nodded. We left the bar and walked quickly toward my apartment. I knew this might be a big mistake, but I didn't care. Ryan looked at me like I was the only woman in the world. He made me feel young again. We arrived at my small apartment and went inside. We talked for a long time, and eventually we fell asleep. Ryan slept beside me, and for the first time in a long time, I felt safe. The next morning, I looked at Ryan sleeping next to me. I told myself, this was just one night. Everything will be fine. Suddenly, I heard a sound, a key turning in the lock. I froze. It was my daughter's key. My heart stopped. I couldn't breathe. My daughter was supposed to be away for the whole weekend. Why was she home now? I knew I was in a big trouble. I woke Ryan up and pushed him inside the closet in my bedroom. I closed the door quietly. My daughter called out, "Mom, are you awake?" I tried to look normal. I walked to the living room. My hands were shaking. My daughter came inside and began walking toward my bedroom. I needed to stop her. The closet door was closed, but Ryan was hiding there. I quickly said, "Wait, do you want some tea or coffee?" She said no and went into the kitchen instead. This was my only chance. I ran back to the bedroom and opened the closet door. I whispered to Ryan, "You must go, now." Ryan nodded. He moved toward the front door. I thought the problem was over, but then he stopped. He looked at a photo of my daughter on the wall. He gave me a strange look. He said, "Your daughter is very pretty, just like you." I couldn't move. My face burned with anger and shame. I pointed at the door. "Stay away from me. Do not come back." I pushed him out of the apartment and locked the door. I went to the kitchen and tried to act normal. My daughter asked if everything was okay. I just smiled and said yes. I hoped Ryan would forget me forever.
The next day, my doorbell rang. I opened it, and it was Ryan. He did not look romantic anymore. He looked serious. He didn't talk about the night we spent together. He only talked about money. He said, "I need some cash, right now." I was confused. I thought, if I give him money, he'll leave me alone. So I gave him some cash. It wasn't a lot, but it was all I had. I told him, "Take this, please go and never come back." He took the money quickly and walked away. But Ryan did not stay away. He came back the next week. Then he came back again the week after that. Every time he asked for more money. I started to feel angry, but mostly I was scared.
When I tried to say no, Ryan's voice changed. He started to threaten me. Ryan said, "Elena, you must give me what I need today. If you don't give me the money, I will tell your daughter everything." My heart sank. He knew my greatest fear. He knew I was afraid of losing my daughter's respect. This was blackmail. My life was breaking apart because of one bad decision. Every day, Ryan asked for more. I gave him money, but the fear never left. I told many lies to my daughter to explain where the money was going. Finally, I couldn't live with the secrets anymore. One night, I sat down with my daughter. With tears in my eyes, I told her everything. I cried because I was so ashamed. I thought she would scream at me or call me foolish, but she didn't scream. She listened to every word. She wasn't angry at me. She was angry at Ryan for hurting me. She said, "Mom, that man is terrible. We must stop him." She hugged me tightly and said, "You are safe now. You are not alone in this." The next day was difficult. I knew Ryan would come back. My daughter waited with me in the living room. We heard a knock at the door. It was Ryan. My daughter opened the door and walked straight up to him. I saw the fire in her eyes. She said firmly, "Stop. You must stop this now. You need to leave us alone." Ryan looked shocked. He didn't expect to see her. He didn't expect her to speak. He realized he had lost. His game was over. My daughter said, "Go now and never come back to this apartment. Never contact my mother again." Ryan said nothing. He knew he couldn't win against both of us. He turned and walked away. My daughter closed the door and looked at me. She didn't need to speak. I knew what she meant. We sat together on the sofa. That day, I realized that keeping secrets holds you down, but the truth makes you strong. My daughter's love and the truth set me free from Ryan and my own fear. I was finally ready to start a new life.